Astroneer recently introduced the large battery, but some of you weren't happy with it, saying that it's useless since steppers are a thing. That's why today I'll show you just how impressive the large battery really is. I'll use it to get a new base started on a different planet, and then I'll get steppers and generators a lot faster because of it, showing once and for all that the large battery can be used alongside steppers to make starting a new base that much easier. So first things first, let's craft one, and this is only going to take 2 lithium and 1 zinc. That is extremely cheap considering that the medium battery, which can only hold 500 units of power, that costs 1 lithium and 1 zinc. So for just 1 extra lithium you can get all the way to 8,000 units stored. And that's just one of the reasons this large battery is so amazing. We'll get into all of them as we start going to a different planet. And for this video I have chosen Novus so that we can start a brand new base on there. While the battery is crafting, I've prepared some materials that are gonna help us start this base. One of these slots on the shuttle will be filled by the battery, and I will take it with us filled. That's the whole point of it. But other than that, I've got some scrap here that we will use for trading before we can get a scrap farm, because we will do that too in the base. I've got some portable smelters, storage, and just a couple materials for the trade platform and for a soil centrifuge. And then I've got a buggy. I don't have the seat for it, but we'll get some compound when we get there. Now let's unpack the large battery, and then we can place it on a platform here to get it filled. You can see it holds up to 8,192 units of power, which is a huge amount, to be honest, and it can produce it at 25 units per second. So if you think that most of these modules only take like 3 or 4 or 5 units per second, for example, the research chamber is 2 units per second, or a portable smelting furnace is also 2 units per second. A soil centrifuge is 6 units per second, and so on. That means you can use these for quite a lot of time before you need power items to refill your battery. And if you just have one QTRTG that I always have on me for this portable oxygenator, you can just leave this in your base while you go do your thing in a vehicle or whatever. And then when you come back, the battery is gonna be full, or at least it's gonna have much more power than when you left. So you don't really need a lot because this battery can hold so much power. While I'm waiting for this to get filled, I should also get some hydrazine on the shuttle. We don't want to get stranded somewhere, so that's why I took extra hydrazine with us. So here we are, the battery is full, so we can throw it on the shuttle. And it's time to go to Novus. We were on Calidor just now because I completed the AMPP event here. So this is it. Here's where our new base will be, and it looks like we've got some bases. So let's go ahead and check this out to see what we've got on here. And then we'll go on a totally different part of the planet to build our new base. Oh, was this for an event? Yeah, I think it was. I think this was an event last year, right? What was this? I sort of remember it. Resin, Resipound, automatons. Oh, this was for last year's AMPP event. That's cool. I completely forgot about this. I could have used it for this year's event as well, but I did a totally different thing over on Calidor. So whatever, it was cool to revisit all of this, but now let's head over to our base location. And I see I've got multiple beacons on here, and I don't know what they mean. There's a yellow one over on that side, but let's pick a spot maybe next to a crater. Okay, let's go here. I think that's pretty good, and even if it's not, we've got this big crater pretty close, so we can go there. And yeah, this is not big enough, so I'll just take the shuttle with me and we'll head over there. Oh, and I found a chest piece. What's this? The Lapis Knight. I've got them all, probably on a different save. I'm not sure on which save. I'm on my way to the crater where we'll build the base, and I just found some compound and ammonium, which I'm gonna take. The compound mainly, that's what I need right now, and the ammonium could be for the future. But I'm already starting to deplete the battery by using the power in my backpack. That's alright though, we've got plenty of power, so I'm not really worried about that. Okay, so this is the big one. This is where I want the base, so I'll get the shuttle in there. But first, I saw a dynamite, and I just have to use it. It's literally illegal to find a dynamite in Astroneer and not use it on whatever you can. So here we go. That was nice. Oh, I found the battery. I mean, yeah, this could be useful in the future, so I'll just leave it there. Oh, and look at what I found here. Some hydrazine, graphite, and scrap, but I can't take any of those either. Now, let's get somewhere in the middle. I like that we're also close to a gateway chamber. That would allow us to get through flat terrain if we ever wanted. So if I had resin, which I do, I could get a little bit of almost true flat started here. So let's just drop the beacon. And let's make this a different color. So we already have blue, yellow, and black on Novus. And we'll just... something's shooting. I need to get rid of these plants. There we go. Purple. I think purple works because it's close to the gateway, which is purple. And is this not unlocked? I don't think it is. We could also use the battery to unlock that, so we might want to do that, but first I'll get the base set up. So now what do I need? I need a leveling block, and then I need extra resin to get another soil canister. So let's throw this on the ground, and I'll get rid of these plants too, because they are pretty dangerous. We can use this. If you don't know, the leveling block gives you true flat, so if you're not close to a gateway, this is really slanted. It could be like all the way to one side. You can see it's not perfect. It's only perfect on top or below the gateway chamber. So the closer you are, the better. I actually have some bases that are on top of one of these, and that's the best way to do it really. But for now, we'll just start with this. Now we can take this that we created, and this should be true flat, and then we can expand it. Obviously, it's gonna be a little bit slanted here, because this crater is following the curvature of the planet. It's not following the true flat of the gateways. We also have some clay here that's gonna come in handy. So let's unload the large battery, and this will be placed on a platform. And I'm gonna need a small printer, which I will get with some compound. There it is, the small printer. So this is how it all starts. We'll get the small printer here, and then we'll use this to get a medium printer, obviously. So we'll get a medium printer. I'll just connect this, and there we go. That's gonna be the medium printer, and then we're gonna use that to get a platform going. So we need some resin, and once we have a platform, we can place the battery on it, and that's gonna be all the power that we need to craft everything. So here's the medium printer too, and then let's see, I just need one of those small platforms. So we've got a platform, we can get the medium printer on the platform and connect it like that. So the platform is crafting. In the meantime, I'm getting oxygen from the large shuttle because this is off since we have no power. And we can also start crafting a seat. So we're gonna need the rover seat. This really isn't a lot of power, but as soon as this platform is ready, we're gonna have the full power of the large battery. And I think we should also unlock this gateway chamber since it's right here. The seat is ready and the platform is ready too, so let's get this out here, unpack everything, and then we can get the buggy out too, because we have the seat for it. So there it is, and then I can just throw the battery on here, and this will be connected to the rest of the base. I'll just put it in a central location, like right here. Let's just flatten the back area. I have no more power. Okay, let's just take this one back. We won't need it in the base anymore, so I'll just keep it on my backpack. And then this is gonna be connected through here so that we can start crafting some of these platforms. So we'll need 3 resin for that. Let's get a small generator out here. I also have some organic, so we can get the generator on the buggy, 1 extra organic on there. So I'm back and I've got the resin. Let's get started on a large platform, and then I have 1 extra because I want to get a soil canister. I had to go pretty far to get it, and it was underground. There really isn't a lot of resin on the surface of this planet, so that's why I want the soil centrifuge fast, so that I can get a lot more platforms for the other modules. I'm just getting some soil here that we will throw in the soil centrifuge, and I'll also use some right on here. That looks great. If you don't have a leveling block, you can also just take this right here and extend it that way. That should also be true flat, but you can see it's exactly parallel to what I'm building down here. You can also use the alignment mod, but that aligns it to the curvature of the planet. Like you can see it's curved. It doesn't do true flat. Yeah, I have all the materials for that, so we'll get it out here. And in the meantime, I also found some laterite. I found it in the caves while looking for the resin, so we're gonna get that smelted as soon as we have the platform. Okay, so here it is. We can get the portable smelting furnaces on there. We can just put it here, connect it, and then we can smelt all the laterite. We just need to turn these 2 on. And each one of these consumes 2 units of power per second while active. The printer also consumes 2 units, and the battery seems to be holding up pretty good. Almost nothing's missing off of it. If you look here, only 1 of these is slightly going, but look at how many we've got. And on the side you can see the full charge, and we haven't even depleted 10% from the looks of it. So we do have quite a lot of power to build this entire base. Now we've got our aluminum, which is great. Let's also get the soil centrifuge on here, and I'll get the portable smelting furnaces off for right now. I'll throw the soil on there, and it doesn't look like there's enough. There we go. Now we can get a lot of resin, and I'm gonna use it at a small printer because I want to get some medium storages. I need them for the soil centrifuge first, and then the other resin that we need, we can just use it for more platforms. We actually have a couple here. I forgot about these. Let's get these medium storages active. And we already have a bunch of resin, so I'll just get this started on some more platforms. And we can also get some more medium storages, but we can really start with anything. The first platform, I guess, is gonna be for the smelting, so I'm gonna have the portable smelters with some of these medium storages. And then we can get the trade platform, we can get the chemistry lab, and we could also use an atmospheric condenser, but it's not a priority right now. I don't need a research chamber. I'm definitely going to need a shredder because we're gonna build a scrap farm, probably just the basic one with the soil, but we can look into it, and if we have some cool metals around, we could use those. However, I haven't really seen any metals on the surface, so I don't know if that's gonna work. But we can always just do the basic soil scrap farm, and that's gonna take care of everything. So let's get these portable smelting furnaces on here. And actually, I think it's gonna be easier if we move these, so we can have this at the end, and then the small one right here. We've got another platform and another medium storage. We no longer need this small platform, so let's get a medium storage on here, and then this next one would be for our trade platform. And then we can get some scrap right here. So I've got extra soil here for extra resin. Then we can also get compound using that and some other stuff, but the rest we're just gonna get from the trade platform. So we've got another medium storage and another platform. That's gonna be right here. And now let's see what do we need to craft the trade platform. So that's gonna be 1 exochip, 1 iron, and 1 tungsten. So let's get this going. And we've got more resin. So now let's move this before I forget again. And then we can get started on the large printer. We've got our trade platform. We'll get it unpacked over there. So I'll just take a look around. I don't have Astroneer right now to use this section, but I can use the scrap. And we still have plenty of power in the battery, so we don't need any power items just yet. We will, however, get some solar panels, some wind turbines, and tappers with generators. But all of this is going to be done a lot easier because of the large battery, which, as you can see, is clearly capable of getting a whole base started. Look at what we've done so far, and we haven't even depleted 25%. So the large battery really is sort of overpowered. Now let's unpack the printer here, and I'll see exactly what I need for a large rover. So here we go, 2 exochips, aluminum alloy, and rubber. That means we don't need any gases, which is good, but we will need a chemistry lab. So let's check that out really quick. Chemistry lab, ceramic, glass, and tungsten. So that's gonna be pretty easy. Then we just need some tungsten, which we will get from wolframite. So let's get 2 tungsten, and this is gonna come back in just a minute. And in the meantime, we can just make a quick trip to the caves. I'll just dig right here next to the base, because on Novus there's these chunks that you can break, and they give you some bites and also clay and quartz, which is exactly what we need. But these are the crumbling stones that you can extract, and we've got quartz, we've got clay. That's great. I'll try to get one more if I can. So here's another one, and we got one more quartz, and this just gives you some bites. That's also used for a galastropod mission to unlock the snail from Novus. Those are some really cool missions. If you haven't completed them, I suggest you do it, because it's just really fun. Is this a working generator? Yeah, medium generator. So I can just take this. Oh, and we've got hematite right here. That's good to know. Now I lost the way back to the base, so I'm just gonna build another thing in here. That's easier than trying to find my way back. So we've got the generator. I'll just leave it on here for now. We don't need to use it as long as the large battery is going. So here we go. We also have the wolframite. So it's gonna be aluminum and tungsten. So yeah, we will need some more tungsten for those. And then we need ceramic. So the clay is gonna be smelted in a bit. We've got the glass, and the tungsten should be done too. So that's gonna allow us to get the chemistry lab, and that's gonna be placed somewhere. We need another platform. Let's get extra resin because we'll need more medium storages, platforms, and all that stuff. And it looks like we're gonna need 2 exochips for the large rover, which means I'll need to find some dynamite. And I found one, but I already used it, so I'll have to look for more. So here it is. We've got the chemistry lab. Now let's hurry up and get another platform. So everything's done. Let's go ahead and unpack whatever we need on here. And then we've got the chemistry lab, and we can throw it right next to the large printer. So then we needed rubber, which is organic, and resin. We have all of that. So we'll just get resin, organic, and get the rubber. And then we needed aluminum alloy, which is going to be aluminum and copper. So we've got the aluminum, but we don't have the copper. We'll get malachite, and we'll turn that into copper. There's a lot of resin involved in building a new base. Everything takes resin for whatever reason. So we'll get our storage area right here. That's going to be close to everything, and we can get exactly what we need. I'll throw this on here, and we still need 3 more medium storages. The rubber is done, so we can place it on there. And now we have all the copper and aluminum that we need, and we can get the aluminum alloy as well. And that means all we're missing are the exochips. So I'll take the buggy out and we'll search for some dynamite. Aluminum alloy is done as well, so I'm gonna go for the exochips next. By the way, just checking in on the battery, we've depleted about 30 something %. So this is still going strong. We've got plenty of power left, and we are already in a position to just build a bunch of power items. So the battery is doing its job. It's getting the base started, and it works really, really well. That's why I wanted to test it out. And just for fun, let's also use it on here because we've got all this power. Let's also throw it on this side to unlock this, and we'll see what we get from the research aid. And it's almost done. There it goes. It sent it flying, and we've got a research item. That's not really that great. I don't need it. So let's just throw the battery back and go out in the wild for those exochips. So I found an exocache and a bunch of resin, which is actually great. And I also found another lapis knight. So I've got 2 now. Actually, I lost the other one, but whatever. So I really need that dynamite, or I need to take it to Glacier where we've got those explosive cataplans, and that can open it. I've been going around here for a while, and I still haven't found any dynamite. I mean, I did find one right at the beginning, but I used it. I guess I'll just throw this on the shuttle and we can head over to Glacier. We'll see how it goes, but I also found some more hematite and resin. So I'll throw another platform to get crafted here, and then medium storage as well. We are definitely really close to getting those exochips. I'll just get another one of these exocaches. There's one right here. So I'll get 2 of them over to Glacier to try and open them. We could go to my main base in this save, but I feel like that would be kind of cheating. We have dynamite there too, so we wouldn't really need anything else. That's why I'm just going to a random natural landing spot, and I'll try to find some cataplants here. There's boom balloons as well, but I don't think those work. And then let's see, this should be close enough, so we'll get all of them to start shooting, or at least 2 of them, whatever. And these should open the boxes. There we go. That's the explosive cataplants for you. They will open everything. And these are very dangerous normally, but you can also just use them to your advantage in situations like these. And since I'm here, I can also get some more hematite. I guess that's enough hematite. I can't really carry it all. I could put some more on the shuttle, but I guess that's gonna be it. So I'm back on Novus, but there's a landing spot that's kinda close to the base, but not really next to it. So we will need to get a landing pad for the shuttle. That's gonna make things a lot easier if we ever need to go to other planets again. So here we go, we've got all of these. And then we can throw the exochips on here. Let's just get the shuttle out of the way. And this is going to consume 5 units per second. Still pretty good. Battery is doing okay. We still have more than half of the battery. And then we'll need some power items for the rover as well. I'm gonna start with some small generators, but then we'll upgrade to some other things. And now we can go off of this and bring the power in here. I'll also toggle these because I can't look at those arrows. I don't know why, but they just look ugly to me, whatever. And now we're getting power into the gateway chamber. I'm not really sure how much this takes, but I'm sure it's quite a while. Okay, now it starts to go down. So I'm guessing we need something like 24 units per second, something like that, because the battery is outputting 25, and this was taking 5 away from it. So now that we've got more than 20, the gateway is actually unlocking, and it's pretty close to being done. The battery still has more than a quarter, and we kind of lost some power because I kept it connected while it was not unlocking. But that's not an issue. We've also got the gateway chamber unlocked, and all of this with just the same large battery that got this whole base built. And yeah, the battery still has more than 25%. I'm guessing when it drops below that we can start getting some power items, but right now let's get the rover back on. The gateway looks really good at night, so I'm guessing this... So I guess we just made a really cool decoration for the base on Novus here. I wasn't planning on it, but since we started the base so close to it, why not? And I brought back a lot of compounds, so let's get started on that seed, and then we'll also need some small generators. We'll get all of this smelted too, and then I need to worry about getting a drill and a paver, but let's get the rover unpacked since it's done, and we'll put the seat on it. And I'm not really sure we're gonna need the tappers, since on Novus both wind and solar are pretty high, so I'm gonna start with that, and then I'm gonna get some tappers and generators. But now let's get some small wind turbines for this. The rover is pretty much good to go, we just need some more things. I can already start driving it, but it's gonna be pretty hard on Novus because there's a lot of craters and stuff. So I'll want the paver, that's gonna be aluminum alloy and silicone. So the aluminum alloy is really easy, the silicone is gonna be the problem. We need methane, resin and parts, so the methane is the issue. Let's get the aluminum alloy in the meantime, and we'll see if Novus has any methane. So let's just go to planets and search for Novus. Here we go. Gases, hydrogen and methane. That's pretty lucky, so we need one extra platform and then an atmospheric condenser. The battery still has something like 15%, I'd say, so we need a way to fill it back up. But before I do that, take a look at what this battery did. It still has some left in it. We unlocked the gateway chamber with it, we built all of this base, we got a rover and everything else, and all of this with the power from just one large battery. That's why this is pretty overpowered and it's actually useful. Now before we get to building some automated things like the scrap farm and the power farm, make sure to drop a like on this video if you enjoyed and want to see more like it. It helps me a lot, so thanks for doing that, and now let's get back to the action. Oh, and I just saw the medium fluid canister. That's glass and plastic, so we can already get that. Let's get this thing crafted. There we go. I'll just unpack it on the back of the rover here. So that's gonna help me use the paver and the drill. We'll start with some solar panels, so glass and copper, and then let's get some more ceramic and get one of these things so that we can place more items on it. And because I'm pretty lazy and don't want to go back into the caves to search for some more resources, I'm just gonna get the malachite and the laterite through the trade platform. Since we have it and we've got all this scrap, we actually have even more scrap over on this side. And since it's already morning, these should start making power. Each one of these produces 4 units per second, so 3 of these should be 12, but only during daytime. However, the battery is getting filled, you can see power is going into it, even though these are active, so the solar panels are already producing more power than we need right now. Next on the list is gonna be the medium wind turbine, so we've got aluminum and ceramic. To be honest, for the size of the base right now, this should be enough. When the wind blows or during daytime, they're just gonna fill the battery back up, so then whenever I need to use something, we'll just take the power from the battery. You can see it's already past 25%. So this did get filled, even though we were smelting things and using power in other places like the printer, and we can get some more laterite. We already have a bunch of aluminum, so we're gonna start crafting the tappers in a bit. But first I want to get the rover set up. So while this is crafting, let's see what does the atmospheric condenser take to craft. So we're gonna need plastic, glass and iron, and the rest of the laterite also came back, so we'll get that smelted too. Now here's the atmospheric condenser, so let's get to crafting that. And I just wanted to say really quick, if we only had this platform for power, we would be struggling from time to time, like at night when there's no solar or when the wind is not blowing, or God forbid when the wind is not blowing at night. That would be really bad, we would have no power. But because of this battery which stores the power and throws it back, we can run this whole base and everything in it with just these power items, and that's really enough. You can see we are gathering more power than we are using at the moment because this battery keeps getting filled. But even if we wanted to use something at night or when the wind is not blowing, we could because of the stored power. So that's great, that makes everything so much easier, and that's why I love the large battery. If this wasn't the thing, we would need a huge platform with 16 medium batteries, and those would have costed 16 lithium and 16 zinc. That's not cheap at all, so the large battery is a way better alternative from all standpoints. Now that we've got this connected to power, let's go ahead and get some methane going. We only need one for now, and that's gonna get us the silicone that we need. So let's see, what do we need for a drill. So we've got a drill strength 1, which is tungsten carbide and ceramic, or the drill strength 2, titanium alloy and tungsten carbide, and the strength 3 is gonna be titanium alloy and diamond. So the diamond is going to be a little bit more complicated, but let's see, the titanium alloy needs nitrogen, which I can't get on here, and both strength 2 and 3 need the titanium alloy. So we might just end up getting the strength 1 because we're not going all the way into the core with this, we're just going on the surface. So I'm guessing that should be enough. So let's get some tungsten carbide. So we should have everything we need right here for the basic drill. And I know it's not the advanced variant or anything, but it's still gonna get the job done. We've got the methane too, so we can start crafting the silicone. We just need some resin and some quartz. So the tungsten carbide is ready, we can get started on that, but here's a very good example. It's night and the wind is not blowing, so we should have no power. But because of the excess power that we made during the day and when there was wind, we've got it all in the battery. I know I'm talking a lot about this battery, but that's the whole point of this video, to show you that it's not useless and it's actually very useful, especially when you start a new base on a different planet. So now let's unpack these as well. These are gonna be mainly for storage, but we'll see if we need anything else. And now we've got some wind back in here. So let's actually get some hydrogen too. We don't really need it right now, but we can use it. Let's actually turn this on. And then the aluminum alloy is going to need some copper and aluminum. The silicone's done, and then we can get this. We can get the paver, and I actually had an extra aluminum alloy, I just kind of forgot about it. Whatever, we'll use it in the future anyway. So we've got the drill strength 1 right here, and the paver, there we go. So we can unpack both of them to the front of the rover, and we've got everything set up. We've got the soil canister, we've got power, we've got generators, everything that we need, so that we can go out and start collecting way more soil for the scrap farm that we're gonna build. And we'll get this back area flattened as well. And I guess that should be enough. I'll just get rid of some of these plants. Okay, that's pretty good. Now let's get the seeds, and I'll just throw them close to each other so a couple auto arms can grab all of them. And there we go, we'll get them planted. They will take quite some time to grow, but that gives me the time I need to craft all the tappers. So there we go. Let's get 2 graphite, and we'll need 2 aluminum as well for the auto arms. We've got plenty of power. This is almost filled all the way to the top, and the battery is getting filled as well. So we are almost back at 100%, which is awesome. The auto arms will be right here, taking the organic from the tappers. It's a shame you have to craft them in your backpack. I don't think they work at a small printer, but whatever. This still works. Now we can also unpack this platform and get everything connected. I'll also unpack these two here, and these are gonna connect everything to the base. The medium generators are crafting and the battery is full now. Let's just take a look in here and see what we need for another soil centrifuge. It's gonna be aluminum and 2 compound. We are going to need another soil centrifuge for the scrap farm, which should be somewhere on here. So I'll get some soil and expand that way. And we've got all of the generators. So I'll go ahead, unpack them all, and then we can start the power farm here, which, to be honest, we don't really need. Everything should be good. I can start these up, and the organic from here should get smelted into carbon, which then goes into the generators and gets a lot of power. One of these generators produces 9 units per second, and we've got 8 of them, so that should be 72 units per second. That means that this platform alone should be able to fill up the entire large battery in just 2 minutes. I would say that's pretty good. We'll unpack this on here. This will be set to make resin, and then we'll need another platform, so I guess I'll steal this one. This is not going to produce scrap extremely fast, but we don't need it to. If we want that, we can get an even more automated scrap farm using metals. The generators are doing pretty well. All of them have carbon, and this actually produces way more organic than we need. So I guess just 4 plants could have been enough, but I got 8 anyway. The battery is still full, so everything's going great. We just need some compound, and that's gonna get us the printers. There we go. So the resin will be deposited in here and turned into small canisters. We just need some items for the selector slots of these. Also, make sure to drop a like on this video if you want to see me get 100 of these large batteries into a single base. And of course, no cheating, I'll do it in survival mode, nothing creative. So yeah, leave a like and let me know in the comment section below if you would like to see that. But the scrap farm is already in action. We are getting resin, which is used to craft the small canisters, which are then shredded for scrap, and we've already got 2 scrap. So out of 4 resin, we get 1 scrap. So each time the soil centrifuge does a full rotation, we're gonna get 2 extra scrap. So this is going to be the road if you're ever on the planet and we need to get here, and I need more power. So if you're coming home to the base, you can just take this bridge and jump off at any point. This is going to be over the whole side and going right next to the gateway chamber. and we'll be able to see all of the things like the scrap farm that's down there, the power farm with all the tappers, the large battery looks really great, and then all of the other modules in the base. Also, this gateway chamber looks amazing. It can just go right here, and then we'll turn it into another road that goes this way, and then we can just expand it whenever we want and build a whole intricate road system. Maybe we can also connect this base to the other bases that I've built on Novus, like the one with the whole automation for last year's AMPP event, and probably I've got some other base as well, because there's another beacon on the planet. But here's the whole base. We can see it from up here. The scrap farm is still going, the power farm is producing way more than enough power, battery is full, we've got our shuttle, we don't have a landing pad yet, but we can see the gateway chamber, so that's pretty easy to get back to the base. And that's the whole base there, all started with the large battery, which I hope I proved that it's overpowered and not useless at all. Now make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed this video so you don't miss any future ones, and go watch this video next. I've been Games for Life, and I'll see you next time. Cheers, Astroneers!